I'm Donna Bush with your CIGTV News Update. We begin with news from the Health Service Authority's Cancer Registry, where survivors register with the goal to help build greater overall picture of the number of survivors, types of cancers, and additional demographic information for the Cayman Islands.
Well, World Cancer Day and the Cancer Registry have the same goals, which are to prevent cancer and manage it as best we can. And the way the registry does that is to ask cancer survivors within the Cayman Islands to give us just a little bit of their information. And once we have a solid foundation of information, that allows medical professionals, health professionals to do everything possible to mitigate cancer risk in Cayman. You can learn how many people get cancer every year, what kinds of cancer are the most common. The big question that people seem to have is, do we have more cancer here than other places? And that's something we can learn as well. So it's very, very valuable information. The information can be used to see what sort of treatment facilities we may need. It can show us whether or not we have higher incidence of cancer in certain geographic areas than others. So it's really the base of foundation we need to do everything possible in terms of cancer prevention. We've got 435 people in the registry so far, so that's 435 cancer survivors who took the time to share their information and really helps us out a lot. There's a couple different ways. They can come to the 3rd floor of the Smith Road Center, which is where the registry is located, and we can register there. They can also download cancer registry data forms from the Health Services Authority's website, the Cayman Islands Cancer Society's website, and the Breast Cancer Foundation's website. And it's just one page. It's very quick. No one sees the information except the cancer registrar. It's the same as sharing information with your doctor. We don't really have enough data yet to do a proper analysis. I can say that breast cancer is by far the most reported cancer. So that's what we've got at the moment. And I encourage any cancer survivors in the community who haven't registered to think about joining.
Viewers may remember that Monday was World Cancer Day, and it was observed right here in the Cayman Islands by health service industry partners, spearheaded by the Cayman Islands Cancer Society with support from the Ministry of Health, the Cancer Registry, and other stakeholders, who displayed lavender-colored pots filled with aloe plants, as the color represents all types of cancers. Now, the observation was also a chance for everyone to spread the word on continued public awareness campaigns right here in the Cayman Islands. Another story making our CIG News headlines this Tuesday: Georgetown Central MLA Kenneth Bryan and dozens of volunteers of all ages, from civil servants, residents, business owners, and service club representatives, cleaned one area of the Scranton community over the weekend. It's all in hope of building what the community needs, the MLA explains.
I am so ecstatic about what transpired over the weekend. We had members of the community come out to clean up a well-known park that has been used for decades by the residents of the area and Greater Georgetown. I'm happy to say that many government departments were involved as well. Fire department, public works, DEH, police department, and especially the residents of the area. What we did was come together to clean up an area which we use for community purposes, as well as expand the size of the area that we've been using. And thanks to the government, they purchased a particular piece of land that was used for the park for quite some time, so I'm happy about that and we appreciate it. But now we have a great opportunity to expand that even further, because there's further Crown land adjacent to it, and that's what we're trying to do. But obviously the first steps to do that first is to go and clear those properties out. I'm also excited about the fact that there's so many people from the community who came together to say, listen, we'll help you go even further than that. Give you fill, we'll give you plants, we'll give you equipment to clean it out. So these are the first couple of steps to a dream that I think is going to come true now that people are starting to visualize it together and can see the potential. We had close to 100 people come out that morning, and it made me really feel good that the community is in it together. It's not just the government or I just doing it for them. They want to be a part of it. What I want it to become is not important, but what the community wants it to become is important. So our game plan, myself and the Georgetown Central Scranton Committee, which I can't leave them out, they're the key part in most of this. We're going to be having a few meetings in the coming days after we finish the cleanup work of the area, to ask the community what exactly do they want. They're going to be the beneficiaries of it mainly, as well as the extended area of Georgetown. So we're going to discuss that. There is some elements of a pond area there, and we want to beautify that. But the main thing is a park where we can all come together and enjoy each other's energy and family kind of atmosphere. So ideally, it's going to be formulated around that, but there's also potential for potentially building a facility where people can have events inside for community events. We definitely need some bathrooms there. And you know that Georgetown Central is very well known for its food. So we're thinking about something quite similar to the farmers market, having a stall set up that we can get all that good old Georgetown Central food available for everybody in Cayman and provide job opportunities for particular people who venture into the food industry.
MLA Bryan also thanked everyone, including private sector businesses and individuals, as well as Service Club representatives, for doing their part. And that ends today's news update here on CIGTV. If you missed it, we encourage you to go to the Cayman Islands Government Facebook page as well as the CIG Television YouTube channel. I'm Donna Bush, as always, wishing you a wonderful and safe night, and see you back here again tomorrow. Until then, bye-bye for now. Did you know that planning permission is required for a shed? Did you know you should check with the department as a planning and permit application may be required? Did you know that planning permission is required for an addition, alteration, or any material change to your house? The 10% rule no longer exists. Did you know you should check with the department as a planning and permit application may be required? Did you know planning permission is required to clear land by mechanical means? You should check with the department as a planning and permit application may be required.
The Esterly Tibbetts Highway 3-lane roundabout is ready for drivers. It's time to make sure you know how to use it. First, know which exit you need to take. Pay attention to lane arrows and signs. Make sure you use your signal to change lanes or exit the roundabout. To turn left, you always approach in the left-hand lane and indicate left. To drive straight ahead, you need to be looking out for signs and road markings indicating which lane to use. Get in one of the lanes marked with a straight-through arrow. If turning right, you must use the right-hand lane and indicate accordingly. To use the roundabout safely, remember these 3 tips. Know your exit, pick your lane, and signal to make your turn.
Did you know your mailing address details on your land register must be up to date in order to receive notices on new development which may impact you? Visit Lands and Survey Department to check your mailing address is correct. Did you know that walls, fences located along the road require planning permission no matter the height? You should check with the department as a planning and permit application may be required. Did you know that fences and walls within the high water setback require planning permission no matter the height? You should check with the department as a planning and permit application may be required. Did you know that a trellis structure requires planning permission? You should check with the department as a planning and permit application may be required. Did you know that a deck more than 6 inches above finished grade requires planning permission? Did you know you should check with the department as a planning and permit application may be required? Did you know that planning permission is required for a sign? Did you know you should check with the department as a planning and permit application may be required?
Join Donna Bush weekdays at 6 p.m. for the CIGTV News Update. Get the latest on what's happening in government on a daily basis. News Update first at 6 p.m.